Good morning, fellow traders. Bubba here. It's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Monday, August the 10th, 2020. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research. Everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and look and see where we left off the market on Friday. So SPX was up a few points. Monthly chart still looking good as we were into the first week of August. Here's that first week candle, or second week. Here's that first week candle, right? We filled the Corona crash gap. But then left another gap below. So ruh-roh. But when you gap over an inside week, right, that can be pretty bullish right here. So we're not too far from all-time highs on this one. We've had some low volume, right? We had a little bit more kind of pick up recently, but still just kind of grinding its way up here. It looks like it does want to try to get to those all-time highs. 3,400 would be an interesting level for the market, but we'll see if we can do that. In the meantime, it's holding its ADMA and its trend lines, and everything is generally looking pretty bullish. But we may still see a pullback on these. Let's take a look at SPY here again. Same thing, right? We've had relatively low volume. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were super duper low volume, and Friday kind of perked up a little bit as they wanted to hold these levels. So we're a little bit choppy here this morning, but we'll kind of see how that plays out into the rest of the day. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. These are the signal zones that we provide to our members before each market open here, so you can see how they've been tested last night, right? So we reversed off the signal zone here three times, and we're still holding the upper trend line right here. So let's see how that holds going into the morning. If we break down below there, we may see this whole congestion area right here at 3340 is a possibility. If we get above there, right, then there's some relatively clear area to get to all-time highs, but we'll see how it holds that. Let's take a look at the minis. Same stuff. The main thing we're going to be looking at here today is, this trend line right here, and of course, seeing how we hold these levels going into the morning, right? So getting really, really tight going into the open day. But again, guys, keep in mind it's summer. There's been a lot of low volume recently, so we might not see huge moves unless some big news comes out and everybody's caught off guard if they're away from their desks. So pretty interesting stuff there too. Again, we've been commenting in our newsletters on the divergences between the Qs and the S&P, right? So just kind of be careful with this one. It might be forming a bit of a bear pennant into today. Had a rough day on Friday, but if it breaks out of these levels, we may see some strength in the Qs, and they might actually try to play a little bit of catch up to, surprisingly, the IWM, which had a huge day on Friday thanks to the banks and other names, and we'll see if that gets some follow through to the upside today as well. Apple had a couple upgrades and an upgrade yesterday on Sunday, and an upgrade this morning. Deutsche Bank today, Wedbush yesterday, and more price target stuff. So it is gapping over a couple major levels here, but it's got some major zones to deal with going into today. So let's see if I can get some strength off of that. I wouldn't be surprised to see some chop on it, but if they really get bullish on it, things might get going again. Tesla, the big deal with Tesla, right, is the double inside week going into this week. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that one. Keep an eye on Twitter. Twitter is up this morning on this TikTok news. Apparently, if you're going to shell out billions of dollars for TikTok, that's bullish initially, but it's fading off of that pretty hard right here at some huge pre-market levels. So watch this, right? Watch these levels. If it does fade, right, it could test this 38 level, and then, of course, it could come back to the closing gap if it wants to. So we got that going on. Uber could be interesting this week. We have, they had earnings going into Friday. Kind of hung in there a little bit. We have Lyft coming up this week. So if Lyft gets lifted, maybe Pins could, or maybe Uber could follow around with that. Pins had an upgrade this morning. Let's keep an eye on that one today. JP Morgan, super strong on Friday. Again, I want to see it back over that 136 level. See how that goes. Piton, kind of interesting, right? So it's real choppy this morning, but the daily chart did look interesting. How it was trying to bounce off the ADMA on that one. And then finally, keep an eye on JMIA. We had a double inside day up, so potentially some follow through as we have earnings coming up this week too. So good stuff, guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful trading day today. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.